Hey guys, I am Flo. For those who are new to my channel, I know an update to my Nigerian beef and chicken stew video is long overdue. You guys say that I prepared the other video donkeys years ago, that I did not cook it from scratch. Yes, I used my almighty Nigerian tomato stew base to prepare the stew in that video because it makes my life easy. And above all, you guys say that I did not talk in that video. You're missing my sexy erotic voice. I hope you are ready because you are going to get a big dose of my erotic accent in this one. But first of all, the prerequisite for watching this video is that you go and watch my Fry Your Best Tomato Stew video. That one is NS 101, while this one is NS 102. You need to go and study that one, pass it with an A before you come back to do this course. Both of them carry 6 units each towards your Nigerian cooking degree. Here are the ingredients you will need. You will need fresh plum tomatoes, the one we call tomato juice in Nigeria. I'll be using Canary tomatoes because plum tomatoes are not in season where I am right now. You can also use Roma tomatoes, even though it has a much more noticeable tangy taste than the other two. These 3 types of tomatoes have mild tangy taste compared to the other types of tomatoes. You will need red peppers to make the beef stew popping red. If you're in Nigeria, use tatashe. If you're outside Nigeria, I highly recommend Tribelli Peppers or sweet peppers. That's fresh paprika, the one you see here. Its job is to give the stew a popping red color, because even though tomatoes are ripe, you find that after boiling and frying them, the redness is not enough. You will need Conc tomato paste. You will see what it looks like when I open the tin. The job of this tomato paste is to give your stew the perfect, strict consistency of Nigerian beef and chicken stew. You know, the stew needs to have some body. For lack of a better way to put it, it also improves the color a lot. It's important for me to say here that you can use a combination of only fresh tomatoes and tatashe or sweet peppers for the stew, but you need to increase the quantity of the peppers by a lot. If you are using tatashe, remember that it is very spicy hot, so the more you add, the hotter and spicier the stew will be. But outside Nigeria, you don't have to worry about the spiciness because the sweet peppers are not spicy at all. You will need chicken, preferably the hard chicken, that is hen. Hard chicken is much tastier than male chicken, that is the rooster or cockerel. And because it is hard, it can withstand all that stirring that this stew gets without falling apart in the stew. You will need beef. I use a part of beef that is boneless and has as little fat as possible. I usually cut it into big pieces because boiling and grilling the beef shrinks it. That means by the time it's done, it will have the perfect size that I want. For the classic taste, you will need a tasteless and odorless vegetable oil for frying the tomato and pepper puree. The vegetable oil sold in Nigeria is great for this. I'll be using sunflower oil. Please, what tasteless and odorless oils do you have in the USA? Please let me know in the comments. You will need Nigerian curry powder, thyme and salt. You will need onions. Red, white or yellow onions will do. You will need seasoning cubes or bouillon cubes, chicken or beef flavor because we are using chicken and beef for this stew. I'll be using bay leaves to season the meat, but it's optional. I'll add habanero peppers or scotch bonnet peppers for some spiciness. I and my family eat mild spicy food. Add hot peppers according to your taste. If you're using tatashe peppers, remember that those are spicy hot too. You can add any other seasonings and herbs that you have learned can make this stew taste great without overpowering the stew. Experts in the house, which other seasonings do you add to your beef and chicken stew? Or tell me in the comments, Biko.
Your favorite pig milk, now also available in field milk.
I start by washing the tomatoes and peppers thoroughly, then remove the seeds. The fastest way for me to lose my appetite is to see tomato or pepper seeds in my beef and chicken stew. So I make sure I remove all the seeds because my blender cannot blend the seeds. You will see more details on the prepping of tomatoes in my Fry Your Best Tomato Stew video. Remember, NS 101. Have you watched the video? When done, I cut the tomatoes up like this to help my blender. I cut the peppers too. I will use this onion that I cut into large pieces to fry the tomato puree. This one that I cut into tinier pieces I will use to season the meat. This is the habanero or scotch bonnet peppers. This is the Conc tomato paste out of the tin. Tomatoes. Everything is ready. Let's go. So I season the meat with the seasoning cubes, thyme and onions. I do not add salt because the seasoning cubes contain enough salt. Mix very well and set that aside to marinate. Next, blend the tomatoes and sweet peppers with as little water as possible. If your blender or food processor can blend this without you adding water, perfect. Pour into a big pot and leave a little puree in the blender to act as liquid for the next batch. That way you don't need to add more water. Then blend the remaining tomatoes in batches. Cover the pot and start cooking on high heat. All the water in the tomato puree needs to dry up. Next, we cook the meat. I am using a pressure pot because it cooks this hard chicken in no time. I let it steam for some time before covering the pot. This way, the seasonings and the meats will have a chance to mingle before the pot is pressurized. When they have got a good steam all over, add the bay leaves, cover the pot and start cooking. Keep an eye on the tomato puree because it can boil over. Next, mix the Conc tomato paste with some water. You want to bring it to a softer consistency to match the consistency of the tomato puree in the pot when all the water has dried up. This is so that it will incorporate well with the fresh tomato puree when it goes into the pot. This also helps prevent burning and gives the Conc tomato paste some time to fry in the pot to remove the tangy taste. There are so many details to this, so please check out my website or watch my Fry Your Best Tomato Stew video. How many times will I say this in this video? That course is very important. When the chicken is done, I depressurize with cool water. I'm running the water intermittently because the stock will spill over when it depressurizes suddenly. Back on the cooker, separate the meats from the stock. Okay, I added all this water to the meat because with a pressure pot, there's a minimum amount of water you have to add to what you are cooking. With a normal pot, you have more control because you can add a little water to start with, then top up when necessary as you cook. But you can't do that with a pressure pot. If I add all this meat stock to the stew will be watery straight away. To take care of that, I continue boiling this stock on high heat till it dries up to the quantity that is perfect for the quantity of stew that I'm cooking. I don't know if that makes sense. That way, you do not lose flavor at all and the stew will not be watery. Next, grill or broil the beef and chicken in the oven. You can also deep fry or air fry them. You see that stock? Almost all the water has evaporated and we are left with the perfect quantity of stock for the stew. Keep an eye on the chicken and beef and turn them around for an even grill. When the chicken stock has cooled down, you can see that it is mostly chicken oil in there. Very tasty, but oil. I pour it out. When the beef and chicken are golden all over, take them out and set aside. Next, the tomato and pepper puree is almost dry. Very important, reduce the heat to low at this time and add the vegetable oil. Enough oil to give the tomato puree a good fry. You can pour out the excess oil when done. This is very important. I explained why you want to do this in so much detail in my Fry Your Best Tomato Stew video. Add the onions, stir. And start slow frying or cook frying. This step takes forever. Stir it often so it does not burn. When it's done frying, there are a few tests to carry out to confirm that it is well fried, which I am assuming you now know from NS 101. Add the tomato paste we mixed with water earlier. And fry that one too till the tangy taste of the tomato paste is gone. Once you fry on low heat and you are using original stainless steel pot, the stew will not burn. Cooking this stew requires a lot of patience. At this time, you can pour out the excess oil if you feel that the oil in the stew is too much for you and your family. You want to do that before adding the rest of the ingredients. Add the Nigerian curry powder, salt, habanero pepper, and the meat stock. I use stock and broth interchangeably. Cover and let it simmer. Add the grilled and broiled chicken and beef. Oh my god, look at that. Then stir. Cover and let it simmer. and that's it. This stew is deep fried in lots of oil, and yes, I said pour out the excess oil, but you still need to leave some oil in there, else it will look and feel like you're eating with just tomato puree. This is not the kind of stew you eat every day because it's quite oily, but when you do prepare it, it's good to prepare it the right way so that people can enjoy it. There are so many other stews and sauces that do not contain lots of oil that you can eat more often. For instance, my mixed vegetables curry sauce does not contain a single added oil. The only oil in that sauce is the chicken oil from the chicken that is used to prepare that sauce. It took me a lot of work and dedication to make this updated Nigerian beef and chicken stew for you guys so that you can enjoy it. All I ask in return is that you give this video a huge thumbs up, even if it's one teeny weeny something that you learned from the video. Share it with your friends, your family, comment and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so, and above all, use the steps in this video to prepare your best Nigerian beef and chicken stew ever. Bye bye, see you soon.